In this video, I'm going to show you how to start a rule draft. After logging in, you'll click on Oregon Admin Rules. And then if you have multiple chapters assigned to you, you will need to select the one you're working in here. What we do next to start a rule draft is going to be dependent on if we are creating a new draft of an existing rule, or if we would like to create a draft of a new rule with a new rule number. If we would like to create a new rule with a new rule number, we want to click Adopt New Rule here. For this example, I'm going to start a draft of an existing rule. Now you'll notice that I have all of my divisions listed here as green buttons I can click. Your layout may be a little different, and you may have a drop-down menu in which you need to select your division. For this example, I'm going to choose Division 10, and any rule number will work. So I'm going to go ahead and use our definitions rule here, rule number 10, and click Start Draft. This is the rule drafting screen. The first thing we need to do is select what kind of rule action we are performing. Are we amending the rule text? Are we repealing the rule? Are we going to temporarily suspend the rule? Or are we renumbering the rule? The most common action we see is rule amendments. If we are amending a rule, we can update the rule title. We can put in changes to the rule text. We can update citations here. And in the rule summary field, we need to put what we're changing in the rule and why. Additionally, this notes field here is for your agency, board, or commission to leave notes for each other if you have multiple rules coordinators or rules writers. What's put in this notes field is not visible to the public or SOS staff. So if you try to leave us a message here about your filing, we can't actually see that. If your rule has an attachment, you'll need to upload it at this step. As you can see, I can't click the upload button. In order to attach something to the rule, I first need to save it. As you can see, I have to put in a rule summary before I can save my filing. So I'm going to go ahead and put in here, test demonstration. Then I will click Save. My rule has been saved. It'll return me to the same screen. Then if I scroll down, I'll be able to choose File. After choosing a file here and clicking Open, it is important to remember to click Upload. My attachment has been uploaded. I click OK, and I can scroll down here. I can see that my attachment's here. Now let's look at the other rule actions. Repeal is a pretty straightforward process. You just click here to select Repeal, and that's going to be getting rid of the rule permanently. So you won't be able to change the rule title, the rule text, or any of the citations. You will, however, still need a rule summary. Suspend is similar to repeal in that you won't be able to change the rule title, rule text, or statutory citations, and that you will still need a rule summary. When you choose suspend, if there's a current temporary rule in place, you have the option to suspend it, or you can suspend the full rule. Next up is renumbering. If we select renumber, we'll see two boxes appear. We want to renumber this rule to a new division and give it a new rule number. So we can use this dropdown to select Division 1, and let's use rule number 10. Clicking Check Availability will let you know if that rule number is available for use. This rule number is not available. Now there's a few reasons why the rule number may not be available. There may currently be a rule using that number, or that rule number may have been used in the past and then renumbered or repealed. Rule numbers cannot be reused, so we'll need to select a different rule number. Let's try 11. That rule number is available. Great. Now let's say we wanted to renumber a rule into a new chapter. Not a new chapter, but a different chapter. We would select different chapter here, and then instead of chapter 162 being pre-filled, we would now have a drop-down of all of the available chapters we can move it to. and we can still check availability for it. Now let's look at the Adopt New Rule screen. I'm going to return to Dashboard. I'm going to get a notification that I may have unsaved changes. I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to come down here into the Current Chapter Rules section and click Adopt New Rule. I'll need to select a rule division from my chapter. Let's go with Division 1, and a rule number. Let's use 17. I'm pretty sure that one's available. I'll click Check Availability. It is available. I can't select any other rule action because I'm adopting a new rule. I'll need to put in a rule title. I'll need to put in my rule text. Next, we need to cite statutory or other authority and statutes or other implemented. We need to separate our statutes that we're citing into separate lines. Let's use ORS 183.335 for this example. If you have one line and a statute on it, you can check both boxes. We need to see one box checked in each column for us to approve a rule. If you have multiple statutes or Oregon law chapters or constitutional sections that you were citing, you can click Add New, and you'll get a new blank line. So we can add another statute here, and let's say we're just implementing this one. Now it's important to note that we can accept statute ranges in these fields. So ORS 183.335 through 183.355. That's acceptable, but we can't accept serial citations, such as this. These need to be separated out onto their own individual lines. Now we'll need a rule summary here. Why are we adopting this rule? What does it do? If we have an attachment for our rule, which we've already covered how to do, we'll want to attach it now. And if we want to leave any notes for our coworkers or ourselves, we can put them here. Then if we're ready to move this into our queue, we'll click Accept. And now we can see our rule over here in the Rules Work queue. We'll cover what you can do with it next in other videos.